we will open this show with the one and the only, my co-host, my partner, and since we began this thing, Mike Delaney, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, so we're kind of calling this the 14th anniversary show because we're, you know, a couple weeks earlier than we would have been, because we don't usually do the fourth Monday in December. So I have two things since I'm opening for myself. So the first one is I was thinking about what I miss about the physical ROM and comparing physical ROM and virtual ROM. And the one thing I miss most is seeing the people that haven't been able to join us virtually. So I'm thinking especially about the early birds, the people that come in early and helped us set up when we were there. So John Shockey, especially King Yee, Steve Friedman, Frank Rosano used to show up way before the show to help Neal and everybody get set up. So here's something I wrote about 10 years ago. It was performed in Open Mike the Musical, the last ROM that we had at the church before we moved to the school, called Twas the Night Before ROM. Because in the early days in the church, Neal used to set up days in advance. He'd be working in there. So, 'twas the night before ROM. 'Twas the night before ROM. There's no one in the place, except you guessed it, Neal, with a smile on his face. He's hanging his posters on each wall with care, 'cause he knows that us Romulans soon will be there. While we're at home, yep, we're snug in our beds, as our latest lyrics repeat in our heads. Now Steve in his sweater, and me still in shorts, sit mindful of knobs that we twirl on soundboards. When up to the stage with his arms outspread springs the walking minstrel that you know as Ed. He jumps on the stage, bounds across with a dash, and picks up the microphone with style and panache. Then after his joke, which we've all heard before, the MC Branson says to look towards the door, when what to our wondering eyes should appear is the jolly old elf that so many hold dear. With his keys all a-jingle, he's grounded and real. We knew right away it must be our Neal. In 5-minute segments to the front they all came, and he asks for applause as he calls them by name. Now Junko and Eileen, David and Ben, on Patricia and MF, Barry and Ken. Now John, Johnny, one more John and Rick. You best get on the stage and do it right quick. Carolyn, Steve, Charlie, Bo, and Bill, it's your turn now, and you know the drill. Then Frank and Ellen, Cheryl and Peter, masters of melody, tempo, and meter. Susan, Mel, Anna and Jim, Justin, Chris, Dan, Joe, and Tim, Diane, Tom, Terrence, and Mary, Janet, Angela, Dan, and Terry. King, Kurt, Craig, Snake, Stephen, Suzanne, Colette, Eric, Mick, Brian, and Jan, and quite a few others I've probably forgot. Let's go so you don't lose your slot. So many performers, this part took a while, each in turn greeted with cheers and a smile. To the front of the room and in front of the mic, now sing away, sing any song that you like. Or give us a poem, your best spoken word, something you wrote or something you heard. Eye of the tiger, wings of a loon, but one thing we ask is to play in tune. Now the feature is past, the night's winding down. Pick up the chairs, turn off the sound, take down the posters, give away the food. We bask in the mellow, satisfied mood. And Neal, the non-stop energized bunny, whose disposition is perpetually sunny, lays his finger at the side of his head. That's not my good ear. Didn't hear what you said. He sends off the last Romulan with a hug, turns away to the cleanup without a shrug. One last thing before he turns off the lights. Here's to the new year of ROM, each one a good night. Thank you.
Oh my, that's so sweet. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yes, yeah. And
Sure you're not part of Shakespeare?
yeah, there you go.